Hi there, I'm Miss Connie. I want to talk a little bit about 5 different things we can do for school tools for success. Ways to help your child learn things and find a way for them to easily flow through homework or learning, especially online learning. This is really important. The very first one is to create a space for learning. And I don't know about your house, but mine doesn't have a separate place where I can do learning. It's generally the kitchen table. So to make it a special place and to create a learning environment, you need to make it a space where you do that. And if it's the kitchen table, it's kind of hard to make it feel different. But one way you can do it is with a placemat. One really fun way to do it is have your child make the placemat. Take it to a copy center and laminate it. If that is not something you're interested in doing, then just get a laminated placemat on Amazon, at a grocery store. Put that down and that becomes their space. The nice thing about that is it keeps the overlap of crayons and markers or paint on a place that you can just wipe off. And if this gets ruined, you can make a new one or get a new one. It's not like it's going to ruin your table. So it makes it a special space, but it also gives you the freedom to be able to let them do the painting and the coloring and the things they need to do without ruining anything. The second one is to have a school toolkit, to have all of the things they're going to need when they get ready to start doing their homework all in one place, and to keep it in that space so that when they get ready to learn, they just have to pull it out and everything is there for them. So what goes in that school kit? Glue. You can do a glue stick or you could do like an Elmer's glue. If you've got a young child, you can, before they get started, you can put some glue just in a Pringles lid or any kind of a small lid like that. Pour the glue in, then they can tap it with their fingers. And one of the things that needs to go into that school toolkit is wet wipes. Then they can wipe off their fingers. If they're painting, they can wipe off their fingers. If they get markers, that is something that is really going to be helpful, is to have wet wipes with that. Now, one thing we have to talk about too with that is you need a container big enough to put all of that in. The thing you can do like a pencil case, but it's barely going to fit the stuff that you need. One thing that's really, really inexpensive and you usually have around is a berry container. Whenever you buy grapes or whatever, you're going to have a big container. The nice thing about a container like this is your child can look inside of it and see where the item is that they are looking for, so that there's room for them to find what they need, and if it gets broken, it's easily replaceable. So it makes a really, really nice container. They're also going to need scissors. They're going to need some kind of paint, watercolors, a pencil. A black pen is a good idea to have in there because sometimes they're going to need to have things that are a little defined, and a pen is a good way to do that. Crayons, markers. Markers are really going to be important for the next piece that we talk about. Markers are something that you can erase. And one thing that we do is create a writing road. Now, that's just a piece of paper. You can draw this writing road on there, or you can get on the computer and create one. Really, really simple. It's just like a street road, but this road is how we learn to write. And when we think about it as a road, when we go places, we get on a road. When we learn how to write, we use a road. A road moves us forward, and this gives them the parameters. Now, having it laminated so they can write on it with those markers, they can take their markers, they can write on it, and then they've got their wet wipes to wipe it off when they're done. Having a writing road at the top and a space to write down at the bottom is helpful. You can laminate this at the same time you laminate your placemat, or a really, really easy way to do that is to get a plastic sheet. Put it inside your plastic sheet. On one side, you've got a writing road with space to draw, and you've also got a plain white paper on the other side, so that you're not having to store a whole bunch of their projects or their writing that they do. It can just be wiped off and reused for the next time that you get together for learning. Now, having a place, number 3, to store everything. An accordion file is a great way because you can do different colors of paper. You'll probably want some cardstock, but for sure you're going to want some basic white typing paper because sometimes they want to keep the project that they're working on, and sometimes they're going to be cutting things out. So this is going to be good for writing letters, doing numbers, shapes, that kind of thing. And then a place to hold their regular papers is good. It's also nice if it happens to be an accordion binder, you can store some of the papers in there that they are especially want to keep and store them in there. Now, I did have my sister-in-law did a great thing. She took projects that were done, she hung them up all over her garage. And so for the whole year, everything they made was in their garage. At the end of the year, she would take them all down. They could choose 5 or 6 to save, and the rest of it could then, it had been enjoyed long enough that it could be thrown away. So there's an idea of how to store them. But for some special things, they can go inside of this binder. Now, another thing is to find a time for learning. To be predictable and intentional about your learning. It's important to make sure that you have time that's designated time, whether it's homework after school or whether it's doing preschool and learning, online learning. A specific time makes it a lot easier to stick to and makes it work a lot better. That's really an important thing. And so keeping that intentional learning, having a space really, really helps. Another thing is how to laminate if you don't want to go to a laminator. Having your child's name on a writing road, that you don't want to take something this small and laminate. Well, a really, really easy tool to laminate is to buy some contact paper, which is clear, or packing tape. Packing tape is a great laminator. You can laminate something as simple as a name. Oops, upside down. When you teach your child how to write their name, do a capital, then lowercase letters. You read lowercase letters. You don't read capitals. Capitals are a lot easier to write, and they're going to learn those. They're going to be easier. But if you're teaching them lowercase letters at the same time, you're actually going to accelerate your child's learning because they're going to learn that there are 2 letters for each letter, but it's going to make it a lot easier for them to learn how to start writing those rolling letters. An A or a B or a D, they all are going to start with a 0 and have a line. So if you start teaching lowercase letters with their name, you're going to give them an advantage and make it easier for them to learn. Getting things together and having them all combined makes it so learning is easier for you and for your child. And if it's all in just, you can put it in a box, whatever, and you just pull it out, you put down your mat, you get your school tools, you can turn on whatever video your child is doing their online learning with, or they can get out their homework from school, and the space is provided, everything's there, and it makes the learning flow. And when it's easy to do. It makes it an important part of helping your child learn and grow, but it also relieves a lot of stress for you. So I hope you find that having these spaces and having these things out there and available and put together will help your life, help your child's life, and especially help your child's learning. That's what's important here. Have a great day and good luck getting all the things put together. See you soon.